welcome in. You found us once again. Shoot the Gap, the Rabbit Hole Fantasy Football Show, here to help you to be gruntled with your fantasy football team and your fantasy football decisions. I am your humble host, Brian the Amigo Baldwin. So glad that you're able to join me on this beautiful, wonderful, fine Saturday. And so today, this is our 193rd show, September 20th. Yeah, in this hopeful year of our Lord. And man, got a great show for you today. So today, just like I've been doing, I'm going to go over all the news that has happened from Friday to now to Saturday, okay, and help you to either give you peace or get you to act on the news that just broke. So let's go ahead and let's get started. All right. So if this isn't your first time to watch the show or the Saturday show, you should know I'll go and explain to you that I always like to have a little bit of fun. So I like to do the news in a little game that I call Deal or No Deal. All right. So this is where I'm going to go ahead and mention some football news, and that has come down the pipe since yesterday, and I'll discuss it and let you know if it's a big deal or it's no deal. All right. So here we go. All right. Let's get started. So the Kansas City Chiefs have declared Xavier Worthy to be out and has declared Jalen Royals in. Deal or no deal? Big deal. Yeah. So we are finally going to see how Andy Reid is going to use Jalen Royals, and at a time where they need the speedy rookie badly. At 6'7", or 6 foot even, sorry. At 6 foot even and 194 pounds, who ran the 40 in 4.42 seconds, this player is exactly what the Chiefs need. Now, Travis Kelce Swift is showing that he isn't able to be as dominant as he was in the past. And Hollywood Brown, well, he is who we thought he was, right? So the Worthy declaration combined with Rashid Rice's return still being a month out is going to give Royals the opportunity to be a key contributor and help open up the run game for the Chiefs. Now, for the past 2 weeks now, if you have noticed, the Chiefs, they've been pretty predictable, haven't they? But if Royals can deliver the way that the Chiefs hoped that when they selected him on draft day, this could help save the Chiefs team and keep them from making a trade mistake, like I don't know, maybe trading for an over the Tyreek Hill. All right, maybe, I don't know. So there's a chance that Jalen Royals is going to be the hot waiver pickup. So if you have a roster spot that you're just using for speculative players right now, yeah, pick him up right now. Pick up Jalen Royals and just throw him in there and beat that Christmas rush. All right, moving on. The Seattle Seahawks have listed Zach Charbonnet as doubtful. Deal or no deal? Big deal. Yeah. First, okay. I mean, come on, man. I mean, why is there even a doubtful distinction? All right, to begin with. I mean, I don't remember the last time I ever saw a player go from like doubtful to healthy. And if there actually is one, I mean, did they actually perform well? I mean, the only one that really comes to mind was, I think, last year was when KPRC's Channel 2 Aaron Wilson proclaimed that the Texans wide receiver Noah Brown was going to be out. And so all the platforms followed suit, only to find out that he was actually activated. But then Brown was actually awful in the game. Okay, so it might as well have been out, so it's just a silly distinction. Anyway, back to the lecture at hand. Charbonnet. Yeah, Charbonnet likely being out means that Kenneth Walker is going to be a bell cow back. Yeah, so he's going to be incredible. I think that's going to be a fantastic play for him. What's really weird is it's always been Kenneth Walker or Zach Charbonnet, right? Einhorn Finkel, right? Which one is it going to be, right? And especially with the offensive coordinator saying he's going to use both of them. Well, not this time. It's going to be, just one, which, as we know, it's going to be Kenneth Walker. So fire him up, especially in DFS. All right. Moving on. That one was easy. So I didn't need to spend that much time on it. But, it just came down the pipe. I want to go talk about it. All right, moving on. Reportedly, Tucker Kraft of the Green Bay Packers will play tomorrow after sustaining a knee injury in Thursday's practice and subsequently missing Friday's walkthrough. Deal or no deal? Big deal. Yeah, big deal. I mean, just plain and simple. Tucker Kraft, as we all saw, it looks like he's going to be a favorite target of Jordan Love. And he definitely was last week. And with him back, it now lowers the ceiling on players like Romeo Dobbs and Dontavian Wicks. Yeah, so those two players in particular were set up for the lion's share of the looks against the Cleveland Browns defense that is great against the run and not so much against the pass. So the jury's still out on how tight ends really do against the Browns defense. Since week 1, they played against the Bengals, who were for some reason content with running the ball into the strength of the defense, and in week 2, they played Baltimore. And let's be honest about Mark Andrews. Come on, everybody. That old mare, man, she ain't what she used to be. Now is she? No, Yeah, so Jaden Reed being out is a great opportunity for Tucker. And it looks like the young tight end is poised to prosper. So if you got him, I would start him with confidence. Yeah, so he seems like in a good spot. And also could be a good play in DFS, of course. Moving on. Reportedly, the Indianapolis Colts will have tight end Tyler Warren active for tomorrow's game. Deal or no deal? No deal. Come on, man. Yeah, we all knew that Warren was going to get the rest day, so just carry on as usual. I mean, the biggest concern for Warren managers really isn't if Warren is going to play, all right? But it really is just to see how well Daniel Jones is going to play in his first away game that happens to not be in a dome, okay? Yeah, that's pretty scary, right? I mean, there's showers forecasted in Nashville, but not until around the end of the game. But you know how trustworthy the timing of weather can be and how trustworthy weathermen are. Yeah, so this might be actually turn out to be a sloppy game. And if that happens, it will likely be a room full of snakes for Indiana Jones. So, yeah, tread lightly on that. But if Tyler Warren, I mean, that guy, as you know, I mean, he's a great tight end. He's a great player. He's a dominant player. So, yeah, you were going to play him all along. We all knew that was just a rest day, so no deal. Moving on. The Chicago Bears have listed DeAndre Swift as questionable due to a quad injury. Deal or no deal? Big deal. Yeah, come on. Yeah. So DeAndre Swift wasn't setting the NFL world on fire now, were they? Was he? No, he wasn't. And now he has a quad injury. I mean, so that's a huge deal. I mean, especially for a running back, all right? If he plays and gets hit on that quad at the right time, I mean, it could knock him out of the game, and that's not what any of us want, including DeAndre Swift, right? So the talking heads are saying Kyle Monangai is the play, right? So if DeAndre can't play and makes a Swift exit, but it's very possible that it's going to be Roshan Johnson that takes over, right? Or it could be a committee. I mean, this situation brings up that eternal quote from Kevin Garnett, anything is possible, right? I mean, so I would suggest just to stay away from this whole situation. I mean, it looks like it's a bad thing. I would sit Swift. Don't roll the dice on Monangai. I mean, sure, if you have a spot, go in and put him there. But if I had a choice between Kyle Monangai or Jalen Royals as my speculative spot, I would go with Royals, definitely. Yeah, because it could just be nasty. It could just be nasty for the Bears. We just don't know what's going to happen there. All right. Moving on. The Denver Broncos have declared Evan Engram as out for Sunday's game due to a back injury. Yeah, it's weird because it was a calf, right? And now it's a back. So dude's breaking down, right? So deal or no deal? No deal. Yeah, it's no deal. No deal. I mean, Engram has been limited this whole week. And this was the assumption the whole time that he was looking to play, right? And it wasn't really like Evan Engram was being used, was he? I mean, it's interesting because when he signed with the Broncos this offseason, I mean, he posted a picture of the Joker, right? When he announced the signing, making us believe that he was going to play the Joker role for Sean Payton, meaning he was going to be an NFL, Swiss Army knife. But, man, I mean, honestly, it's starting to look like he was actually referring to the Joker card in a normal deck of cards, which as we all know, is completely worthless. So yeah, so no deal. I mean, it's not gonna affect you one way or the other. And last one. Just want to go ahead and talk about this one. The Atlanta Falcons have released long-term kicker Younghoe Koo. Deal or no deal? It's gonna surprise you. I'm gonna say it's a deal. It's a big deal, but with a caveat. Okay, let me explain. All right, let me explain. All right, before you say anything or turn off the podcast, let me explain. All right, this on the surface looks like a no deal, right? Because I mean, he was a healthy scratch going into last week, and his replacement Parker Romo did pretty well. So I mean, we kind of all expected this, right? So why would it be a big deal? But it's a reason why I'm saying it's the caveat. Here's the caveat. Have you seen what's going on in San Francisco's kickers? Woo! PU. Right? After a disappointing preseason and week one, the 49ers cut the kicker they picked high in 2023 draft because, quote unquote, they didn't have any other position of need, right? Then they signed Eddie Pinheiro, who looked like Moody in a different jersey, right? They didn't get any better. They went maybe lateral, maybe down. Wasn't good, right? Now, it does seem that Younghoe Koo is on a beeline to the West Coast, and if he is signed by the 49ers, then this news is a big deal. Trust me. Yeah, so keep an eye out on that. Keep an eye out on what's going on there, especially if you have kicker problems in the deeper leagues. All right. Nice and easy. Wrapped up in a bow. That does it for us. The Saturday news show. It's my hope that this podcast will be a nice supplement to your normal digestion of fantasy football. So please make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. Click that bell so that you will get alerts when these Saturday shows become available. And a quick reminder that I do have a live sports talk show called Drive Time Sports with Brian and Lori every Thursday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. exclusively on highvolumemusicradio.com. Or on the free High Volume Music Radio app. So it's a live show, everybody, and it's on Thursday before the Thursday night game. So if you have any type of fantasy football questions, please give me a call. I'll be more than happy to go and talk to you, and we can discuss it. All right, time for parting shots. All right, so this is the last bit of advice that I like to give before I close the show. So let's go ahead and drop some knowledge on you. So right now, this is trade season, and since it is trade season, today, I wanted to give a PSA to all those teams that just let trades sit there, all right? If you are offered a trade, okay, and you don't like it, please either counter with a trade idea of your own or just reject it, everybody. I mean, come on. By letting it sit there, you're basically being disrespectful to the other team that could just move on from the offer that they sent to you instead of sitting there and checking the trade status every other hour like an eBay item, so they can move on and try to and find somebody that will actually trade with them. All right, so be a little respectful, okay, when we're playing here. So my message to everyone is, if you receive a trade that you don't like, decline. All right, so that's it. That does it for the show. So let's close this thing out like I always do. Remember, everyone, in fantasy football as in life, don't dream it, be it. All right. Thank you for watching. Lord willing,